Alright, hello and welcome to part 9. So when I originally recorded this part, I didn't realize that my mic had flipped around before I started recording, and the sound was terrible. So I'm actually gonna do a voiceover for this part, and we'll see how that goes. Yeah, so this episode is going to be primarily some housekeeping. We've got a lot of congestion built up with all the trains we've got going between our two cities. So what we're going to do is upgrade the stations in our two primary cities to the warehouses with signaling control, and see if that'll help clear up our congestion. I guess you could say it's a warehouse keeping. Haha. Yeah, so originally earlier in the game I had said that I prefer the manual setup for the stations because of the challenge. And that's still true, but with how many trains we've got coming in here, even doing it manually, I think it's basically impossible to get it running as smoothly as a warehouse with signaling control can do for us. So we'll set that up and see how that helps us out. We had also here set up our manual trains a little wrong. I had, let's see here, yeah, I had cloth being picked up at the warehouse, which doesn't make any sense because they're making cloth at Rock Springs, so we need to fix that. And then yeah, we also have two of each things, which I don't think really makes sense. We'll fix that here. Yeah, I think what we're actually going to do is just delete our warehouse trains and start from scratch, so that way it'll make it easier to expand our stations because you can't have trains on the lines to delete them, and we have to delete the lines to upgrade the stations to signaling stations. So yeah, we'll just delete them and start from scratch and go from there. Yeah, so we'll have to wait until these guys pull into the station here so that we can delete the lines they're on. Alternatively, we could just delete the train, but I'd rather delete as few trains as possible to make our lives a little bit easier. Just gonna tell these trains where to go so they'll pull in quicker. And of course this train is going to break down right where we don't want it to. I'm hoping it doesn't stick out too far up here, because the signaling stations are pretty long. Yeah, we gotta wait for this train to move. There we go. Right. Top side's clear, but this broken down train is kind of causing some problems for us. We can at least start by deleting the tracks on this side. I think we'll just delete this train and then rebuild it. What train is this? Grain train? Yeah, I think we'll just delete this. Yeah, these two grain trains kind of ended up close to each other anyway, so this actually might be a good thing to get them a little more separated from each other. Alright, we might need to let this train come in all the way as well. Alright, we're just gonna delete this one too. Let's just make it easy and then we can recreate both those trains. Alright, here we go. Let's delete these tracks. And now we can upgrade to our warehouse with signaling control, or station with signaling control, rather. So this sticks out kind of funny here. Hopefully it'll all line up properly. And it looks like it will. And now instead of having all the trains funnel in through 2 tracks, we can actually extend these 2 lines out directly into our warehouse and really clear up our lines here and have some good efficiency. I don't know though if this supply tower will expand out far enough to cover all those lines. Let's see. Promising. And it will. That's great. So it looks like you can expand your supply towers out to at least 6 lines. I don't know how many total it'll allow. But this is great. Now we've got all those lines covered by a single supply tower. And that just looks really cool. Okay, let's get this side. We'll have to delete these back a little bit, I think. And again, we could do the same thing where our grain train from the other side is coming into its own separate tracks. Ugh, I don't like that, how that looks. That looks ugly. Let's delete this back here a little further. That's a little better. But this angle might be a little bit too sharp coming in. Yeah. Start with this one, see if that works. So we can get this side in. But this side is just not going to cooperate. The curve is too tight. Which is unfortunate, because that would have looked perfect. Yeah, sure, let's try the same thing we just tried again, because that makes sense. Alright, so we'll just have to delete these lines right here a little back, and then bring in those 2, and then rebuild these lines. Okay, not ideal, but that'll work. Should start with the other track first. Alright, there we go. And that actually looks pretty cool with that little curve in there like that with all 4 tracks together. Get our signals set up now that we've got our stations ready to go. Can't wait to get some trains running on here. This looks really cool. see, why is this track lost its directionality? Oh, that's why. There we go. Get our auto signals set up. Alright, now we can get a station with signaling control set up in Casper. Should be a little easier than the other side. Although we do have a lot of trains coming into it. Hopefully we can do this without having to delete any trains like we had to on the other side. Okay, hopefully that's enough space. And it is. Awesome. It's a weird little angle. We'll delete this back a little further. Still a little weird, but that'll work. Yeah, we can connect our other line in to the other side there if we need to. And this is offset a little strangely, so we're going to delete this back a little bit and clean that up. Fortunately, we had no trains on there, so we could do that. But why isn't this working? Because of this weird little turn right here, I think it's having an issue. You can see a slight curve in the track on the right side. And it's just the game doesn't like it. So let's delete this back a little further and see if that solves our problem. Sweet, it does. And now we want to do the same thing like we did on the other side and have our two warehouse lines connecting in directly to the Casper station, which means we'll have to delete this sugar line track that we've got coming in here and rebuild it. For some reason it's not letting us delete it, even though there's no trains on it. Must be something with our signals that we have set up. I'm not really sure. Like, it seems like that train is way back there. It seems like we should be able to delete that. I think it's because these signals are facing the other way. Let's place one here. Or actually, I think what I would have needed to do is place one a little closer to that train and let it pass it. And then I should be able to delete that. But I didn't try that, and so instead Oh, no, we do try that. But I didn't let it pass all the way. I think if I had let it pass that new signal all the way, we would have been able to delete this. So instead of doing it the right way, we're just going to go ahead and delete the train. Yeah, hindsight is 20/20. Let's delete these and then just bring them directly in. I don't want to connect this up too far forward because we want that sugar train to be able to come across and connect into this side. I would love to get a supply tower right there and get all the lines, but I think that might conflict with our sugar track that we've got bridging over. Yeah, again, we want to keep that back so we can connect that sugar train in here. Alright, great. Let's get that sugar train back in. Connect this in here. Cool, looks really cool. So I think we'll put our supply tower up here. And let's get our signal set up. Still a little confused as to what the proper way to set up signals are on a single line. Probably way more simple than I'm making it in my head. Alright, I think we're all set with the signals. Let's get our trains set up now. So I think we want 2 trains going from Rock Springs to Casper. I mean Rock Springs to the warehouse. We'll get our first one set up and then clone it once it gets to Rock Springs. Alright, so we want there everything except for the cloth and the... everything except for the cloth delivered. We'll do one of each, and then we're going to try just setting it up with the mystery box, or the any good box, so it can pick up whatever it wants, with the hope that it'll just fill in the gaps with what we need. I don't know if that's how the game works, but we're going to try. And then we want it to be bringing back cloth to the warehouse. I put the any goods box here, which I don't think I should have done. I think I should have just filled it up with the cloth, because there's nothing else for it to bring to the warehouse. And let's set up our train going to Casper. And this one we want picking up everything except for clothing. So again, we'll do one of each, and then set up the any goods boxes. And then we want it to be bringing clothing. There we go. Alright, what else do we need? We need the grain train, because we deleted both of those. Just leave that on automatic, and we'll get a beefy mastodon on there. And we also need a sugar train. Alright, good. Let's let the game run, and then we'll duplicate our warehouse trains once they get to their appropriate cities. And this should really help unclog all the congestion that we had.
Oh, a piece of paper. You can write something on that.
I don't know why this train didn't pick up an extra wood here, or something else. Okay, we can go ahead and clone this now. Go check out our Casper train.
Ha! There's space for my station here.
Okay, clone this one. And then we'll need to clone our grain train too once it gets over. See where that is. There we go. So just keep an eye on this for a minute, and we'll call it quits. This is just a quick episode to set up our signal warehouses, and then we'll keep an eye on it as we play in later games and see how it's all working. But so far, it's looking pretty good. It should really help with our growth in our two main cities that we've been struggling with. And having those extra tracks in there looks so cool. other growth doing here? So we are still low on our grain. Why is that? Should have 2 grain trains running. But I don't. I thought I had set up a second grain train earlier. I think I had meant to, but maybe I forgot. So that's a big problem. That's why we're not getting our grain there. Because we've just got one running that super long distance. So let's go ahead and get another one down. Okay, that's solved. We should start to produce more cheese now because we've got milk coming in from the warehouse at a faster rate. Alright, I think we'll end there and we'll see you all back here real soon. Thanks for watching.